with all the research that I've done for this video, I feel pretty confident in saying that I'm the foremost authority on animated flight in movies and TV. But I know that that title will kind of intimidate some of my fellow YouTubers and make it more likely that they lash out and make a video disagreeing with everything that I say. So let me just say, I mean, you guys remember the Power Rangers costume tier list. Let me just say, Queso, XQC, Charlie, if you see this, if you're streaming and you want to react to it, let me first get a couple disclaimers out of the way. Disclaimer 1. What am I considering to be a pilot for this? Google definitions gives us this, Google Images gives us this. So let's just go with a person operating a flying machine. Okay, fair enough. I want to make that distinction because we're talking about pilots, not riders. There are some animals and objects that basically are doing everything, and then there's a guy along for the ride. Okay, that doesn't count. Appa, Toothless, these types of things. Is there a degree of piloting to that? Sure. I know that Hiccup has his fin that he controls, you know, the little wing there. But yeah, I just wanted to say that in case there's anybody really pulling for Aladdin to get the dub here. Disclaimer 2. We're looking at animated pilots. I know it's in the title, but just a reminder, don't expect to see Sully, Upside Down Man, Tom Cruise in this video. Last disclaimer. Is the fact that my father was a pilot and he flew away when I was 6 going to, you know, affect my perception of pilots in general for this? Maybe. Probably. In my subconscious, but I haven't even cried once yet while making this, so yeah, not even once. Okay, those are my disclaimers, so I expect to see nothing but W's in the comment section, and we can begin our quest to find the greatest animated pilot in movies and TV. We're going to start off with a group of pilots actually from the same franchise, and that is... Yeah, we're going to start with the big one here because, like I said, there are several candidates within the whole of Star Wars to consider, and also it's the first franchise that I thought of for good animated pilots. It's probably the same for you. I don't know, you might have seen the thumbnail and been like, Jimmy Neutron, yes, he's the best pilot. I've always said that. To which I say, have you always said that? Really? And your dad works for Xbox and your girlfriend goes to another school? Don't lie to me, man. Don't lie to yourself. This channel, it's an open place for judgment-free opinions and discussion. As long as you agree that Kirby Squeak Squad is the best video game ever made. You do agree. So our candidates here are going to be Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Poe Dameron. Let's start with Poe Dameron. Who gives a fuck? Moving on to Han Solo. Han Solo is like the James Bond of spaceship pilots. You know, he's cool, he's smooth with the ladies, never seems that scared. Does any of this really matter for piloting? No, but it gives him some style points. Also, he gets some points for the sheer amount of buttons in the Millennium Falcon. And the fact that, like, half the time he's mid-battle in space, he's got to stop to change the oil for this thing.
I don't know how we're going to get out of this one.
As iconic as the Millennium Falcon is, it's about as reliable as a brand new Range Rover. So, bonus points there. Also, here he is successfully navigating an asteroid field, which is the quintessential test for a good space pilot. And, of course, there's the legendary Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. He won't let us forget that. So yeah, that totals him up for a very solid 8 out of 10 pilot. Next we have Luke Skywalker. Speaking of legendary runs, the flight sequence on the Death Star is not to be understated. And honestly, I think it's one of the best cinematic moments for sci-fi films, period. However, one midichlorian fueled Hail Mary laser shot does not the best pilot make. And he was always going to kind of be overshadowed by his dad anyway. Now, when I think of Anakin, I'll be honest, I mainly just picture him like running into things and crash landing.
How come every time you fly, we crash?
It's not my fault, it's the ship!
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing serious, just a small malfunction.
He's supposed to be the best pilot in the order.
I know you don't think I'm ready for a command of my own, but I am the best pilot in the order.
That settles that. Also, if I just unlocked a memory showing you that 03 2D Clone Wars clip, you're welcome. Because if you're ever wondering like how good, how cool a certain Star Wars character is, watch said character in those Clone Wars clips, because every single, like Mace Windu, typically a badass, way more badass in 2D. Yoda, way more badass in 2D. General Grievous, I'm probably gonna have to make a whole other video for that. And yes, Anakin gets the top Star Wars pilot award, and here's the Clone Wars clip to prove it. Star Trek. We got any Trekkies watching this? I hope not, because they will be pretty disappointed in the amount of Star Trek knowledge I had coming into this video. From what I've seen, the big three ships are the Voyager, the Discovery, and of course the Enterprise. All of these are big, you know, and they've got a big crew, and for me, most of the battles are a little bit more like battleships in like the Pacific, you know. There's strategy, there's weighing options, there's drinking tea. But I mean, overall, like, asking me to watch this after I watched the 2D Clone Wars clips, it's like asking me to watch an opera after looking at TikTok all day long. Planet Express, Futurama. Why am I talking about this? Okay, I was not taking it very seriously at all in the beginning either. I thought this was going to be like a short segment, bottom of the list, and to be fair, it still is. But in doing my research, I found that for some reason, it is insanely fast, as in like the fastest ship on this entire list in my video. I don't know the rationale, I don't know the lore, I don't know the reasoning, but yeah, so Professor Farnsworth, I gotta give him some points there, I guess. Also, the DeLorean from Back to the Future, probably wasn't even gonna mention it. If I did, it was gonna be but a footnote on this video. And the speed of it, it's infinity? What? Was there like a Back to the Future comic book where it had to like 1v2 Superman and Godzilla? What is the power scaling there? Infinity? So it's already there. Whatever I'm thinking of. That's because no time has passed. That hurts my head. Just sitting here now, I've realized that it's a time machine. I've been looking at spaceships flying so much, I didn't even remember. The whole point of it is that it travels time, so it could go back into. Okay, so I guess I understand the logic, I guess, there, but now I just feel stupid. So moving on. An odd pairing, yes, but I'll give you a second to figure out what they have in common. So you got it. It's already been like 7 seconds. So the answer is, how are they flying either of these at all? Okay, this is a house with balloons attached. The dude's got like a shower curtain and a couple of quilts, and that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what to say. The Axiom and Wally, you might be thinking, well, it's a spaceship. It's supposed to fly, okay? But not by this guy, not by him. He's like 3 generations out from walking, okay? Much less piloting this colossal spacecraft with the entire human race in it. That'd be like one of us being teleported into a spaceship and having to fly it back to Earth right now, okay? I don't care how many manuals. You could give me 20 flight manuals and have ChatGPT directly wire them into the neurons in my brain. And I'm fucking that up 100%. But this guy just perfectly lands this giant ship, again, with every human being in it. No problem. It's gotten dark during this. I feel like there's some Star Trek fans that are gonna find me. Better, but there is a secret third entry into the how are these things flying at all category. And that's Jimmy and his friends. No, it's no surprise that Jimmy Neutron can whip up a spaceship from like a lawnmower and a refrigerator. But look at this guy. He's about to take off in a Ferris wheel.
Neutron, this is gonna work, right?
Yeah, Jimmy, what if it doesn't work?
It's gonna work, Cindy. Shit, it didn't work. Oh, it did. Okay, see, look. We got the Ferris wheel. We've got a squid going. We've got a fucking cheeseburger going. Okay, I'm putting these guys above Star Trek. I don't care. Friends of the channel probably won't be surprised that I figured out another way to bring up Kirby, but they might be wondering what's my argument here. And my argument is this video. So, I don't really want to play it because it's Nintendo. But yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. Link dead, Samus dead, Pikachu dead, Sonic dead. The only one that got away was Kirby. And my dad, when I was just 6 years old. I guess this is a video game, and we're trying to do more movies and TV. So.
Check your G diffuser system.
Shut up, I'm doing another video game. So Fox is out here blasting, spinning, weaving, doing his thing. But you also have to remember, he's got all these dumbass side characters chirping in his ear the whole time.
Hey, what's that?
It could be quit. Is that the whole thing?
So is Wolf and I stealing down this drive? I sent some friendly rain patches. The abandoned ship.
Keep your guards up, team.
I mean, Falco's cool, and I can't stay mad at Slippy. But Crystal? Really?
Watch out! Something's out there!
Yeah, something's out there, Crystal. No shit! Iron Man, yeah, he's good. He's in a suit. I guess I'll count that as piloting. Kind of opens up a can of worms for like anybody with a jetpack or rocket boots. But there's not a lot of like people known for being a good pilot in Marvel, at least in the movies. I mean, what am I going to put Captain America in there? Rick and Morty, the spaceship's too smart. It's flying itself. I mean, I don't even think they're doing anything half the time. Lilo and Stitch, yes. But more specifically, Jumba from Lilo and Stitch. Because look, he's untouchable in this thing. But as good as this is, the secret lore behind this plane scene is that it was actually changed upon release. Because it came out in 2001 and they didn't want to show a 747 flying through a bunch of buildings. Fair enough. But they had to cut this scene out entirely. So yeah, Jumbo number one. Now you might be thinking this should have been in the how does this thing fly at all category, but this is a proper rig. I mean, it's got wings, it's got engines, it's not a house with balloons on it, it's not a cheeseburger. So why then did the Penguins make this list?
Okay, boys, launch. Hey. On. Launch.
Let's see Anakin pull that off. Honestly, 2D Anakin probably could, but there's no 3D Anakin that could do it, just saying. We've all seen The Incredibles, so we've all seen these guys. But do you ever think about them? Do you ever dream about them? Look, I'm just saying that these guys are flying at like Mach 12 in floating saw blades through an extremely dense jungle. They're tracking and firing with, ignore that guy, with extreme precision directly behind Dash like proper villains should. But they have no radar, no shields, no hyperdrive. They don't even have proper seats for the speeds they're going. They're hunched over. Do you know how many G's they're probably pulling? Then when Dash goes in this cave where there's like an inch of clearance on either side of the hover blade here, the dude has no fear whatsoever. None, doesn't slow down at all. The other guy actually has the wherewithal to stop mid-chase, adrenaline pumping, making the high IQ play of going around to the other side to cut him off. These guys just have a mastery of the craft. Great awareness, no fear. Ignore that last part again. But honestly, they could have survived that. We don't know.